Welcome back. Today we are with Alex again, and he is going to bake this time, which is what he is trained to do. So we all have very high expectations.
I'm gonna bake a chocolate marble cake with a topping, pistachio topping. So this cake is very simple. The prep time is about, with measuring everything, about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And the baking time should be around 30 to 40 minutes, depending on your oven.
All right, let's do it.
So here we have all the ingredients that are pre-measured. We have sugar, we have eggs, butter. Here is a mix of flour and baking powder. So I like to mix them together. So I'm using this KitchenAid here,
Awesome.
my mixer that I got way back in France, and I brought it
To
with
the United
me.
States.
With me.
Wow.
Mixing the ingredients in the right order is very important. First, we're gonna put the eggs, 3 eggs. After that, we're gonna put the sugar. So when you put the sugar, why did I separate all the ingredients? It's because if I put the sugar with the eggs and I'm not mixing them right away, the sugar will cook the eggs.
Okay.
Mix it right away. You want it to be high. The reason is you're gonna see, right now it's pretty yellow.
Yeah.
The higher I go,
Yeah.
the whiter it's gonna get, and it's gonna look fluffy. If you don't do this and you just stop right there,
Right.
your cake, the consistency of the cake will be very dense.
Okay.
So right now we want it to give that light texture. So what I like to do as well, when I use the mixer like this, that sometimes the whisk doesn't touch the bottom. So I can just lift it up a little bit to make sure that it really gets all the sugar and the eggs, and place it back. Slow this a little bit so that it doesn't splash on us. And we're gonna incorporate the butter
Okay.
very slowly.
And it has to be slow? Is it because it'll cook too much?
No, the butter is melted, but it's not hot. This is a fat component. And if you go too fast, it's like kind of like a dressing when you add the olive oil. It'll be easier to incorporate. So same thing, gonna mix it. Now we have the mixture of butter, eggs, and sugar. So pretty simple so far.
Yes.
I think you could do this. So now I have the mix, flour and baking powder. So I put them together.
And do you have a recipe? We can put a recipe in the description.
Yes, we can. I have the recipe, I can send it to you. And at this point, back. And then there we go.
Nice.
So pretty consistent.
Is there a danger to over blending it?
Yes. So why is that? Why do you think, what would make a difference? If we mix it too long, not enough?
If will it break everything down? It becomes like fluid again?
So it's the gluten.
Oh.
The more you work the gluten, the more elastic it becomes and the texture will change. So you don't want to overmix it.
How do you know if you're overmixing? Like, what's the perfect texture?
You want to look for clumps. If you see any clumps, anything that's looking like a little weird that you have to break down, like you want to break those clumps. Here you have the cake mold. You is put some butter. So, and I like to do the rim here.
Oh, wow.
I put some butter in my mold. And I'm gonna put the dough, the preparation.
And are you putting all of the dough here?
A little bit more than half. I just want to keep a little bit in there. I'm just going to keep a little bit. There's not like a determined amount. It's really up to you and how you want to do it afterwards. But spread it evenly, just like this. For this part here, I'm going to use cocoa powder to give it this chocolate flavor. So now I mixed everything in. Don't overfill your piping bag. That's a mistake that we see a lot. You can't do precise work with this.
That does seem like a very big bag for a very small.
But that's a big bag, but I've seen some interns filling up like to here.
Yeah.
But you'll see afterwards, I usually go and stop right there. So you go like this. You want to avoid like air bubbles. Then you go here like this.
Yeah.
You
But if
twist.
you fill it all the way up to the top, you can't
Yes.
really hold anything.
You can't hold it.
Yeah. And then
Twist, and then because you want to add pressure to pipe it out, you go around your thumb,
Oh.
and now it's secure. And you just go like this. You pipe, and you twist. So here, just gonna cut the tip right there. If it's too dense, if this mixture is too dense because I put too much cocoa powder or too much chocolate, it'll sink. So all your chocolate will be at the bottom. If it's too light, it'll just stay on top.
Okay.
So it has to be right in the middle. So let's see if I...
Okay.
So that's the pattern I chose to go. And then with a knife, just gonna go one way, outward, inward, outward, inward.
Incredible.
It makes it look so easy.
And now it's time to bake it. 350 in the oven for about 30 minutes. What we want to see is once it's baked, we're gonna put the tip of the knife in it. If it comes out clean, that means it's baked. So I brought a cake from home that I baked last night. This is what it should look like. Today, I prepared a pistachio whipped ganache. A ganache, let me explain this. I had to make it yesterday because it has to rest for 24 hours.
Okay.
So what is a whipped ganache? Do you guys want to guess real quick?
Yeah, it's some sort of whipped ganache.
So there's no sugar in there.
Wow.
There's no egg. A ganache is basically chocolate, white chocolate or dark chocolate, and you pour hot cream, and when it solidifies, it becomes a ganache. It's like what you find in like the little chocolate truffle. What is a chocolate truffle? It's a chocolate ganache, molded, and tossed into cocoa powder. A whipped ganache is basically a ganache that you add cold cream that wasn't heated to be able to whip it. This is a pistachio whipped ganache.
Okay.
I heated some cream,
Okay.
poured over white chocolate because I didn't want the brown color, and I put some pistachio paste that I'd made myself. So it's just
paste.
pistachio that you buy at the grocery store, you roast it,
Okay.
you put it in the food processor, you mix it until it's just like liquid. And that's the pistachio paste. No sugar added, no salt, nothing else. You just need the pistachio flavor. And so I poured everything together, mixed it, and afterwards I added more cold cream to be able to whip it. Once you heat up the cream, you can't whip it.
Right.
So see the consistency? It's very creamy, like a whipped cream. You don't want it too whipped, otherwise it's gonna be too dense. But if it's too liquid, we won't be able to pipe it.
Oh, we're gonna pipe this.
We are going to pipe it, so it has to have the good consistency. I can keep going. Next, I'm gonna take a piping bag. I'm gonna use. So see how I did? Because if you pour it, it might go out so that easy. But basically, you have to do right here. You twist and you push it down. It stays. So you can feel it. Even if I open here.
Right. Oh, and you cut on the bottom. So back in the kitchen, what do interns do?
Interns do basically all the prep.
But
Which
is this
is-
considered prep?
No, this is considered decor finishing touch. This is for
so
the
do interns do finishing touch?
if they get to a certain level.
Okay.
Yes. Piping bag. Same thing. Thumb.
My goodness.
Wow.
And there we go. And the way you pipe, you really can't go wrong. You pipe it, if you have the right consistency, it'll stay. And this one, so this cream, it's not gonna go to waste. Okay, we can reuse it.
Oh, wow. No waste.
We can reuse it, and now it's pretty much, there's no rules, it's more like... And because, you know, we don't do things halfway at Tsang and Associates,
Wow.
I do have gold leaf here. The secret with this, it's so easy to just go overboard with it. And it just doesn't look pretty anymore.
Restraint. That's the name of the game here.
I have to try it.
It smells so good.
The plating looks good. Look at
Crazy.
Even the shadow.
Yeah, even the shadow.
Yeah, wow.
Okay. Nice. Good firm texture to the cake. It's a very like. This is just like plain cake. You know what I mean? The base.
And you can add any flavor. It could be vanilla, it could be, more chocolate.
And then the pistachio.
Yeah.
The ganache is so good.
The ganache is so good.
Crazy good.
It's like a bready cake, kind of.
That says spongy.
Spongy. All my cake words come from Great British Bake Off.
So you watch a lot of bake-offs. I read a lot of cookbooks.
All right, so let's talk about how to run a law firm from this unique cake.
I thought you'd never bring it up.
Would you say this is uniquely your recipe?
No. These are a mix of different techniques that I got. So the cake,
Yeah.
obviously, I was a kid
Right.
the first time I did this. The whipped ganache, years and years of training, working in kitchen, I got that from other recipes. Raspberry, same thing. Other cakes, decorations, all that little details. And I just added everything together. And for me, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It works. It doesn't have to be fancy. I wouldn't expect to see this in like a fancy restaurant or a fancy bakery. This is just my version of a cake that I would make at home,
Yeah.
serve it to some friends. Didn't require any type of like fancy mold or equipment.
The only thing is like the piping bag. But you don't even, because this
So
is for decorating.
for the piping bag,
You could-
do you
you
have
could-
Ziplocs?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, there you go.
You have a little corner on the Ziploc, right? Just put the dough.
So good. What this reminds me of at the firm, what Alex has produced, he's made something from all of his experiences over the years with all his technique to make something so delicious and yet so simple. And that reminds me of when we do cases, when the firm does cases, and we borrow little pieces from different case categories. So many times we see a weak case and we think about it like, okay, we need to make this argument, but how do we make an argument? Sure, we could just kind of like BS our way and just argue it. But a lot of times we think of other areas of law within immigration and also even outside of immigration, right? We used family law arguments to talk about how if you fulfill this criteria, you therefore have custody. And this mother completely fulfills all of these criteria. How can they not pass on their citizenship to their children? Completely different field of law. We're using state law courts in California, applying it to a federal law, applying it to a jurisdiction overseas. Completely irrelevant, but we're borrowing from the same story, same logic, and we're making the arguments. And so whether it's the cake, whether it's the cream, whether it's the raspberry that you cut in half so it's not too big, but it still has that acidic feel, super simple, but it is elegant. So how do you build a good firm? Well, in order to create something simple like this, you should have a variety of experiences to win a good case and to use arguments from different areas of law and different types of immigration. You need a team that specializes in all those different things. If you constantly only do one thing all the time and you make the same arguments again and again and again, then you only know how to make that one thing. In the world of immigration law and law firms in general, I see so many people, they only do H-1B cases. And the attorney leading the H-1B case category, they don't go and do any other case type. Then how do you ever make good arguments if you don't know anything else? Or somebody who only does family law and they never go into business law. If you do the family case and you need to review tax returns and make business arguments, how do you borrow from that, right? Like so many times when we did 601 waiver cases, we are borrowing from the business department saying like, if the family is separated, the business will collapse because in order for this small business to survive, both mom and pop need to be here. If you separate the mom from the pop, it's gonna collapse. And look at all the debt and all the additional hardship that it's gonna cause. You need to make business arguments. But in waiver books, in all the seminars I've attended on waivers, nobody talks about that. From this, I really see all your years of experience, and you took something of the simplest and you took the set requirement, like, okay, what can we make in 20 minutes with a very simple budget and it is this good. Again, same thing for cases, right? Their life depends on it. Our team members are working on cases, but if they only do one thing and they don't constantly experiment with other types of cases, and if other people do not share their experience, if everybody is just siloed off, then what is the point of a firm? We're might as well just siloed individual people, and when you hire one attorney, it's no different than hiring another attorney. But when we are a firm, when everybody shares their strategies and their knowledge and their success and their failures, we all learn so much. Everybody becomes better.
I also wonder, because the cake is, homey, inexpensive, like bread and butter kind of thing. But then the toppings are like very like luxurious, We were almost talking about this in an earlier episode too. It's like what to have like as a really good base that you don't need to be expensive, but then what's worth splurging on to elevate it.
In my opinion, when you have a firm, you do need to focus on the bread and butter, and you can't skimp out on that. Like, even though it is the basic, you need to do a good job on that.
Right.
So for an immigration firm, for example, like basic family petitions, spouse sponsoring each other, right? In the business world, around doing H-1Bs, these are some of the most basic entry thing that so many people need help on. You don't necessarily make money off of it. You need to know how to do it, and you need to know how to do it well, because everything is built off of that. If you don't really do the H-1Bs, how do you do the next level, the EB-2, EB-3s? If you don't do the family petitions, then how do you end up getting the waivers, right? The entry basic things, the bread and butter, maybe that should be a third of the firm. It's not profitable, but it gets things going. And then different people have unique circumstances. They got the H-1B, but now the company could sponsor them for the green card. So you do the EB-2, EB-3. Much more complex, but that's where you really earn your title. To build a good firm, you definitely have the foundation, but then the top 1/3 or 2/3, that's where you do the more complex.
So, okay, when it comes to building like an organization, what is the foundation, like the structure that you need to do well, but you don't need to make it super flashy, if that makes sense?
Right.
And then what is the stuff that is worth spending a little more time on? Like, for example, like, I don't know, unique benefits or something like that, where it's like, that's like very noticeable. That's like the gold leaf or like the ganache that really elevates it, that is like not the foundation. You can think of like salary or something, or having a good office environment or something is maybe the foundation.
Oh, okay, you're not talking about clients anymore. You're talking about like internally within the company.
within the company.
Yeah, so I think the base will for sure be salary, right? So everybody has a base salary that can live and work off of. And then what's on top? How do you build off of that? And I think every individual is different. Just like, your cake, you're serving it to different people with different taste buds. So some people, they want more flexibility. That's super important to them. So if you have a good flexibility on top, then they see, okay, I can earn a living, but I have the flexibility so I can take care of my family. Flexibility in their work remote schedule, flexibility in where they live, which state. Some people, they want the opportunity to grow tremendously fast. So some companies, firms, they hold people down. You can only do this for so many years, and then you can do this, like traditional sushi, right? Like you need to spend 3 years just to manage the rice.
Right.
What if somebody's time horizon is in 2 years, I want to master all of it, they won't enjoy that kind of atmosphere. So everybody has their own unique wants. In an organization, it's very hard to give everybody everything. It's very difficult to give everybody completely different things.
Yeah.
But it's still possible to try to give as many people as many things as they want, as long as it can work. Because something that I've learned managing people over the years and just being in relationships, one of the saddest things is when you love somebody and you care for somebody and that's not the way that they receive it. So really finding out what people want. And maybe you can't give it, but at least you didn't hurt them while sacrificing. That's like the worst scenario, right?
Yeah.
And so as long as you're being able to listen, as long as you're able to talk to different people, and you might not be able to give everybody everything, but still planning it out, and if it does fit, then it's wonderful. The whole company blossoms when everybody is at their best.
I really like the examples that you listed out for comparing the cake, how you created that cake, to how you built the firm. The firm. I really like the plain base, the employee, the firm or culture, right? and all the cases that you have to master first. You can't just do the fancy things. Just like the cream itself, I'm sorry, but it would be disgusting. Just
Yeah, don't say
we
that.
have to
Not in
have
front of the good
we have to have a we have to have a good, strong base foundation to be able to add on top of it, right? And that's what you're doing with the firm. Like I said, it's small, and where we are today,
Yeah.
so much variety, and being able to cater to each employee, what you just talked about, flexibility, money, growth, all that. It's based on the base,
Right.
us, employee, the firm. You can't just add stuff and pretend that it's going to be good.
Right.
You really have to know your base first, eat it by itself, and then add something that will go well with it. And I think that's what you're trying to do at the firm. I think you're pretty successful in it. People are happy. Are you happy?
Very much so.
Very happy. Yeah, you know, like finding the little things that will go together. And I really like that philosophy. And yeah.
Very cool. Nice.